San Diego, so that makes it a very important game. Let's bring in our two big shots tonight, Lauren and
come on in, guys.
Morgan. Lauren, you're over this way, and Morgan, you're over that way. And as they get situated, it's my pleasure to introduce our first two guests. They've got big roles to play in Amber Whiting's plan to lead the women's basketball program into the Big 12. Junior Lauren Gustin, the #1 rebounder in the country, as we've established, a leader on the floor. Assistant coach and former Cougar star Morgan Bailey in her first year on the staff. It's an honor to welcome both of you to the Wise Guys.
And by the way, you guys, we had Amber, the very first major interview that she did after taking the head coaching job. She came in here, she sat right here where Morgan is. Had not done a big interview, and she spent an hour with us.
And she was scared a little bit. I'll be honest, she was a little scared.
She was nervous about it.
She didn't know what we were going to ask, and then she's kind of walking in here going, well, this place is kind of cool, but what is this? This is our underground
we don't tell people
Wise
where we
Guys
are, so
studio.
please don't tell. Now you guys are on the inside. We tell them it's an undisclosed location in Provo in the East Bench. But
then she lightened up, and we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time, and she said, oh, that wasn't so bad. She didn't think it was so bad. So we hope that you guys have the same experience that Amber had when she came in.
So we've been talking about the Big 12 football schedule released today. And now that the teams and dates are out, does it feel a little more real that that's where everyone's going?
I mean, for me, not so much just because we're still in season with the WCC. But, I mean, it's exciting to see schedules coming out and dates and stuff.
When you think about from the football side, because I know you guys, you follow all of the sports at BYU, is there a game that both of you kind of look at and go, oh, that's going to be kind of a fun one. That's going to be a fun football rival for BYU. Is there a favorite team that you have from a football perspective that BYU is going to play?
I'm looking at the schedule. I'm excited for Oklahoma at home.
Yeah.
I think that one will be super fun. Texas is always good. We're just, I don't know, all of them are going to be fun.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Oklahoma at home. That's going to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That will be big. And we're also waiting on the basketball schedule, which will be enormous, especially for the two of you. How eager are you have you seen it? Have you seen the schedule?
Amber's seen it.
Because it's floating around. It just hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, Amber does a good job of we're just focused on the season right now with the girls. So we haven't really talked about Big 12 jump. Like Lauren said, we're just focused on finishing WCC play really strong. But I've seen a glimpse of it, and it's exciting.
In the event that, let's say the game's Saturday, so for maybe just a couple minutes, let's step out of the bubble just a little bit and talk about joining a P5 conference and competing in it. And they'll all know you're coming with the kind of season you're having. How exciting is that?
Yeah, I mean, we got a little taste of it playing Oklahoma this season and then last year. So they're always it's a fun atmosphere. I feel like, especially playing out there, really different. Good competition. So I'm excited for it. I think that hopefully we can get a lot more fans and whatnot at our home games. But I think it'll be a good jump for us.
And here I'm gonna preface this with this, Morgan, when I ask this, but I know you're supposed to just say, yeah, we just got to focus on the game this Saturday, right? Because that's what they tell us we all have to say. But I want to tell you, so I'm going to take you way back. It's 1984, and our coaches keep telling us we just got to focus on San Diego State this week. But all of us were getting together and looking where we were ranked, and we're number 7 right now in the country. If we're going to get to number 1, then Ohio State needs to lose this week, and then we would go watch Ohio State and Michigan. And I'm not gonna lie, we were focused enough on the games we were playing that week. We went 13-0, but we were also focused on down the road and winning a national championship. So this is a protected bubble. This is just us.
It's just us, and then the world, and then the world. So there's that.
We'll talk about the Big 12 for a minute, and then we'll focus right back on this week. Okay.
Perfect.
So Morgan, with that caveat. When you think about coaching in that league, in the Big 12, a P5 league with so many good teams, where does that take your mind? What are your thoughts on coaching against the competition in that league?
That was one of the main reasons why I made the jump over to BYU. I mean, as soon as we heard that they were going to the Big 12, I feel as a player, that was a dream of mine. Every time we went to the NCAA tournament, when we played NC State, when we played
and got to the Sweet 16,
Nebraska and UConn, those were my favorite games because it's going against these top athletes and top programs. So those were the games I lived for. And so now that I'm actually going to be a part of it, coaching against the best, going against the best, bigger, faster, stronger, that's, the game that I love. And obviously respect to WCC, the WAC, Big Sky, like all these conferences have a ton of talent. But when we talk about like Power 5 and actually being a part of, the legends that go through it, I think we're excited to not only go to compete, but go to win.
Two fierce competitors here on the show. And I'm not talking about us.
No. What's he talking about?
The notion of a Big 12 opponent every night for you, with how you like to play and your physical style and the success that you've had, is that not like the ultimate challenge?
Yeah, no, it's exciting, especially thinking of even playing like Texas, going to be playing Shaylee.
Sure.
That's exciting. It kind of gets me more motivated, I feel like, in the off season, just, to be playing old opponents, old teammates. But like Morgan said, bigger, faster, stronger, everybody. So I think it's just, I feel like I got to get stronger, faster, even, bigger, whatever it takes. But no, like I said, it's just motivating. I feel like for me, it's going to be a lot of fun and challenging, I think too, to be able to play the best of the best. But I'm ready for it.
I love that Lauren says it's motivating. So when that actually happens, as you've prepared, and Shaylee comes down the lane, and you block Shaylee's shot. Okay, so you swat it, and it starts a fast break. You swat it out to the wing, and you get the ball to the floor, and you get a run out on the other end. Do you say something to Shaylee at that point?
See, I'm not much of a trash talker. I wish I was, but yeah, no, it's not my game. But she's killing over there, so I'm happy for her. But now I'm excited to have her back here and, hopefully put up a good challenge against them.
On our live stream tonight, which can be listened to, watched anywhere in the world on Lower Carb Coug. If you look at the entire BYU sports programs, the women are way more prepared for the Big 12. Do you two agree?
Go women, yeah.
Well, just run down the sports. You can start with soccer, women's volleyball, gymnastics, women's basketball, track and field, cross country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not wrong, are they?
I don't want to start any.
No, seriously. Like Jen Rockwood sat here before the season. We said, Jen, you're going to be in the Big 12 next year. You still have this year. What are your expectations? And Jen's like, we'll go compete for a championship immediately. We compete for national championships. Like, what are you talking about?
I didn't mean to leave golf out either.
Right,
golf
right.
and tennis.
And then you look at, our women's cross country team and women's track. They're top 5 programs in the country. They go in expecting to win a championship right now. In basketball and football, men's and the women's side, there's some more pieces we need, obviously, to compete for a championship in that league. Maybe the women are closer than the men at this point, really. But have you noticed, Morgan, in this recruiting class, this upcoming recruiting class, an ability to get some better players knowing that you're going to be in the Big 12? Like, this incoming mix looks like it's pretty talented. That's going to be added to Lauren.
And it's a top 25 mix.
Yeah. I think our recruiting class coming in, a lot of them are great players where before, if we were in the WCC, I don't think we have a shot at them because they want to go against big, fast, strong, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Having Genocide come over from Oregon was a huge get for us. Obviously, Amari. And then we have Kaylee Wilson, who's absolutely killing it in the state of Utah right now. I see her being the Gatorade Player of the Year.
At Lone Peak?
Yeah, at Lone Peak. And so just a lot of people who not only are great players, but will fit in with what we have right now. And that's what's important to us.
What if you recruited 5 Gustins? How would that work? Because I know you like to shoot. I know you like to shoot the 3. But you make a living down by the basket, but then there'd also have to be you at the point guard. Is there room for 5 Gustins out there?
There'd be a lot of aggressive people fighting out there, I feel like.
Well, that would be something to see. Now, as a former WCC Player of the Year, and averaged 17.2 points and 10.5 rebounds, which sounds a lot like some numbers over here, although these are a little bit further along this season. You know what it takes to battle in the paint. So what does Lauren have in her that makes her so effective?
Yeah. One thing with I did interview not too long ago, and like Lo's a super special person. Like, you don't meet a lot of Lauren Gustins, where you don't have to motivate her. Like when she's on the court, she's on, whether it be in practice or games, and she sticks with what she's really good at. So rebounding, of course, we've improved. I think. I don't want to speak for you, but I think she's improved finishing and reading and reacting to people. We've seen her 3-point shot and her kind of shot from 15-foot range. So to me, what makes her different from anyone I've ever coached is just, the grit, the heart, and it's consistent every single day, whether it be in practice, whether it be in a rebounding drill, passing drill, whatever it is, she's out there to win.
That's what makes for greatness, right? When you have it, but you still work at it. I loved, Lauren, that you said going to the Big 12 just motivates you to get bigger, faster, stronger, and do all of that. So a question for you. I mentioned earlier before you came on that in that game that I was broadcasting with Spencer, I actually asked the question in game, like, is she going to get every rebound? And like, I think she's just got like 10 boards in a row. Is she going to get every board in this game? Do you expect to get every board when you're out there?
I'd like to go for every single board, regardless if it's, offense or defense. So I definitely make a goal and effort to at least put effort towards every board. Sometimes the long ones, I'm not quite lucky, but I just love to crash every time.
And are you disappointed if you don't get 20? 20 all of a sudden is the norm. It's like, did Lauren have a good game? I don't know. Did she get 20 rebounds? That's not fair, but that's kind of what you've done.
It's disappointing when I miss ones that I know I should get. But if I feel like I'm, putting the effort forward, whatever I end up with is, doable. But I feel like there's always a couple more that I can, push myself harder to, or, get a luckier bounce or whatnot.
I went and watched the San Diego game, and then I wrote an article about you in the Deseret News. And I started the article by saying Lauren Gustin plays as hard as she chews her gum.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if someone would think that was disrespectful because you chew on your gum and it's just a motor. Really, it was kind of a description of a motor that doesn't stop, and that's kind of what Coach Whiting has talked about, is that you have a motor that doesn't stop when you're on the floor. And I've noticed that you're able to do all these things and you don't get in foul trouble, which is a gift. How do you avoid being so physical and staying out of foul trouble?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's address the gum thing. I feel like I do. I am very aggressive with my gum. I have to have gum in 24/7. I don't have it right now, but I get so like amped and going that if I don't have gum, and I'm literally biting my fingernails off. And is it a new piece every time out? Usually I just I have to have the same kind. I'm very particular on
what kind is it?
It's polarized extra.
Where's that from the bubble yum on the counter?
It's just like an experiment. It's like a.
I don't even know where that. I don't even know.
So it's a fresh piece throughout.
Yeah,
so you get some sugar.
Start of the game, and then at halftime, I always get a new piece, but that's about it. If the game's going bad, I'll switch my gum. I'm a little superstitious about that, but
so if the game's not going the way you want it, then you got to change the gum.
Michael Jordan
switch flavor.
Didn't Jordan switch his shoes? Didn't Jordan switch his shoes if it wasn't going right?
This isn't going right. Get me another pair of shoes.
So you swap out the gum.
Yeah, I'll swap out my gum.
And Rafa, if things aren't going well, he's like, this racket is not okay. He'll change to another racket. So with Lauren, it's like, it's not going okay. I need a different flavor of gum.
Yeah, I'll switch my piece of gum. I'm very particular about that. My trainer's always got my gum on hand, which is nice. But back to your question about.
I can't even remember because I'm fascinated about the gum.
Foul trouble.
Oh yeah.
How do you stay out of foul trouble and being as aggressive as you are?
Yeah, I think I've just learned over the years, kind of, how to play smarter, what to. You kind of have to get a feel of the refs, I feel like, at the start of the game and kind of see what they're calling and whatnot and then go from there. But, yeah, I just have had to kind of sometimes when I want to be a little more aggressive, I have to kind of, back off or just kind of know when to go be aggressive. And then, like I said, the refs sometimes, you kind of got to get a feel of them.
Yeah, some have happy whistles.
Yeah, they do, and you got to adjust to them. I was going to ask Morgan, we talk a lot about Lauren's rebounding because she's just otherworldly in that area. Like, she leads the nation. It's just crazy. But one area of her game, as we've watched, that's really developed is her ability to get the ball out of the double team. And teams are going down double, and Lauren, when she's got the ball on that low block, a lot of teams will come off of the guard line, off of a wing, and try to double from there. Sometimes they'll monster and bring another big over. But it seems like a lot of teams are trying to come down and dig it out from that guard line. That's been a benefit to Nani who's sitting out there now with 2 on Lauren. She's unguarded. And she's really had this ability to get the ball out. And then all of a sudden, Nani's starting to knock down shots. She's feeling really comfortable. Her offensive game has taken off now. She leads this team in scoring. How much of that is Nani and how much of that is Lauren and Nani's ability now to score and lead this team?
That's what makes a dangerous team to me, is the balance. We talk about it all the time as a staff and with the girls, is that if they want to worry about our shooters, because we have a lot, not just Nani, we have Smiler, we have Ari, we have a lot of threats out there on the perimeter, but Nani's definitely our more consistent one right now. But if we have shooters, they have to worry about them, and they can't double off. I've been surprised at how many people have played Lauren and Emma one-on-one this year, but it's because they're worried about our guard line. Who do they double off of? So then when they start hitting shots, it opens up for the bigs. If our bigs are killing it and they have to double off, we pass it out. And so then it's like, what do we guard? We don't know what to guard. And so that, to me, it reminds me of the Sweet 16 team that I was on with Jen Hampson, Kim Parker, Kylie Maeda. We were so balanced. It says, what do we take away? What shots are we going to give up? And so there was just no answer. And that's where I feel like we're headed with Coach Whiting saying everyone just had to figure out who they were, what we are, and I think we're figuring that out and finding that balance.
Kempe Nicole on YouTube tonight. Lauren has good genes. Her great uncle was a player for the Cougars in 1958 and played with my dad.
Oh, I didn't even. I guess I was aware of that. I had a great uncle, but I mean.
So you got that.
Yeah.
So you got that going for you, which is nice. Anyway, that it's funny how people will follow your career because of connections to family members from years gone by, and all of a sudden you represent everybody.
I know. Yeah, my mom played here too for 2 years, so basketball, which is crazy to think about that, but.
Who's the best athlete in your family? Because Lauren comes from a family of great athletes, right? So who's the best athlete in your family?
I think everyone's gonna say themselves for sure. I mean, honestly, I think my mom. She wanted to come to BYU for volleyball and basketball, but she decided to pursue basketball. But I feel like she did it all really well: track, volleyball, basketball. The rest of us were kind of more dominant in one sport, I feel like.
So she set the tone.
Yeah.
And everyone
So mom is the you know what? I don't care what you say. That's a great answer.
Yeah, she won't give herself credit for it, but
that's pretty awesome. That's
BYU assistant coach Morgan Bailey and junior powerhouse Lauren Gustin on the Wise Guys tonight, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and wiseguys.com. So Lauren, what does it mean to be the nation's leading rebounder? And there's over 5,000 players playing Division I college basketball. You're the leading rebounder. Is that a motivator to keep it going? What is it?
Yeah, it's definitely a motivator. Never really satisfied. Any days, there's close seconds and thirds, so you kind of gotta, be aware of that. It's just every single game you gotta grind, battle, try to get every board you can. But at the end of the day, it's just what it's gonna take to win and get games, win games. So. If that means 20 boards, then I'm gonna do my best to get that.
And isn't it kind of cool? Isn't it kind of cool to be the number one rebounder?
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, that's something.
To lead the nation, and we're talking about at an elite level, right? There's great players all over the country.
I can go right to your mom and say,
one.
yeah, you're talking to the nation's number one rebounder.
Yeah, no, I'll no, it's a good honor. But like you said, it's just, you got to be focused and go into every game with the mindset of just what is it going to take to win. So
I said earlier I was gonna ask this, so now I am like, can you be the all-time leading rebounder at BYU before you're done? So you need 482 to tie, 483 to pass by Tina Gunn Robinson. That marks, it's more than 40 years, right?
Yeah, just
more
over
than 40 years ago. That's a long time to hold a record. We had, who did we have on here the other night? Oh, Jimmer was on with us, and Jimmer was all mad that he was the all-time leading scorer for 2 years, and then Tyler took it from him.
Because there was a great gulf between Jimmer and Danny Ainge.
Right.
And then he only got to be the king for 2 seasons.
That wasn't good. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
And my feeling is, if you go get this, it's going to be another long time. You can have that for a long time. Can you do that? Can you get that many?
I hope so. I mean, that's the plan. Obviously, Tina had a great career at BYU. I feel like she's all over the place. Her banner hung up in the gym, and a lot of records set by her. So, something to strive for sure.
It's interesting. Last year I wrote a story about Shaylee's chase of Tina's scoring record, and that if she stayed at BYU, she had an opportunity to do that. And now we've just flipped it to now we're chasing the rebounding record. Tina's under hot pursuit all the time. So, Morgan, what would be the keys for Lauren to get that record? What needs to happen besides good health?
Yeah, besides good health, I think what she said is just come hungry every game and look for opportunities. Just be relentless on that. And I think she has great teammates around her who set her up as well. And she just has that instinct. And so what she does, you can't teach, honestly. Yeah. So, and so I just think keep going at it. And then as she gets faster and stronger in the off season, it will come in the Big 12 as well.
So Lauren, how helpful is it to look over on the bench and to know that you've got Morgan sitting there who played the position that you played, who was a phenomenal rebound, who was a leader on a team that went to the Sweet 16. It was all conference player of the year and all that. How nice is it to have Morgan there to bounce ideas off and coach you up?
Yeah, no, it's been a great honor to have her. I'm so glad she's here. This is my first year working with Morgan, and I've loved every second of it. Just trying to take full advantage. I feel like it's nice to have someone that you can really ask all the questions to, and she has all the answers. And she had a great career at BYU. So, we'll try to get working after practice, and I'm always trying to, get her opinion on things because, she was a hell of a player. So
if we had a hoop behind us and there was a shot coming off the rim, who gets the rebound?
Lauren, every single time.
And no, she does. She does still suit up in practice, and she.
Now I have watched.
That's the question.
We have watched Morgan dominate in the WCC.
Does she suit up?
Yeah, she has a couple times in practice.
But I was not the rebounder Lauren was at all. Offensively, I could hold my own, but no.
Can she still ball?
Oh yeah, no, she has to come in to fill in for the boys that aren't getting the work done. So.
Is that right?
I love it. And you guys have some guys that come practice with you, right? To get a little more size out on the floor,
and speed and whatnot.
to help to get you guys ready for games. So sometimes it's like, dude, you're out. Morgan, get in there.
Yeah, no.
To back up our boys, they're great athletes, and that's what they are. They're just athletes. So
they're not basketball players?
So when they're guarding them, they're going for blocks and stuff, but it's not always realistic muscle, playing a certain way. And so that's when I'm like, get out, guys. Let's make this.
Morgan,
I got this. Get out.
Dr. Catch 1000 says, question from Morgan. What's been the most surprising thing that you've experienced since becoming an assistant coach? And you were an assistant at UVU before, so it's been a few years.
Yeah. Honestly, the most surprising thing is how rewarding it is. When I gave up basketball, when I decided not to play professionally anymore, I didn't know if basketball was going to reward me as much as it was when I played. And so being an assistant coach, I think the reward is seeing things click, seeing Lauren's success, Emma's success, Josie William, who I coached at UVU's success, brings me happiness and gets me going. And so I don't know, I'm just in it for the girls. I want to give them back an experience that I did. And so when I see them being successful, that's what's the most surprising to me of how rewarding it feels. So
good answer. Nice job.
Lauren averages 15.6 points and 16.5 boards, number one rebounder in the country. But she's on a tear lately. Every time I look up, it seems like it's 20 plus. So, that number is going to go up. She and assistant coach Morgan Bailey are here with us on the Wise Guys tonight. Nani was going to join us tonight. She's not feeling well. She hopes she'll be better by game time.
Sorry, guys.
We'll get her on another night.
And if we would have known
you're just fine over there.
I want all three of you guys coming on the next time. So we're going to excuse Nani because she's not feeling well tonight.
There was a lot that happened after the NCAA tournament last year. Lose to Villanova, and then a lot of things changed, especially for you. Let's just go down the list. There's Paisley Harding, Tegan Graham, Maria Albiero, Sarah Hampson. They all graduate. Shaylee Gonzalez graduates and transfers to Texas. Your head coach finishes up, so you're going to have a new head coach, and you've got to decide, do I stay? It's like that Clash song, should I stay or should I go? And you decide to stay. How come?
I feel like some great, obviously some still teammates and whatnot that I played with that, I loved. I played with Nani a lot last year, Ari, Emma. So I felt like, we still were together. We had each other. And just having trust and faith in the coaches that were coming in. I knew Morgan was a great player and great coach, so I was excited to have that. Lee was coming back, who was I was really close with Lee.
Lee Camard.
Had a great relationship with him. And then, I heard great things about, Amber coming in and just her intensity and energy she was going to bring, and, kind of a new culture to BYU.
Is it hard for a player of your caliber to go, okay, I've just got a little time left, and now I got a new coach?
Yeah. I mean, it was hard at first, just realizing that I was going to have such a big change, being my, I redshirted my first year, so technically my 4th year here, but my 3rd season playing. But, I was excited for the challenge. I was going to come with it. Losing a lot of upperclassmen was going to be different, but I knew I was going to lose, the seniors that graduated. Shaylee was a surprise, but, it all worked out. I was excited to be able to play with Nani and, Ari and Emma again.
Lauren, was already here, and Amber came in. You came with Amber. And so what's that been like? And describe her style to us. What's it like to coach with her? What's her coaching style, if you could describe it?
Yeah. So I already admitted this to Amber. When they hired her, I think all of us were like, interesting hire, because coming.
No, we all were that. We're like, what?
Yeah, and I admitted that to her. So if she's watching, don't be surprised. But we were all kind of interesting hire. But when I was at UVU, very happy with Dan Nielsen and what we were doing.
We love Dan.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. And so when she said, I just want to talk to you, like, just come talk. And I was like, okay, you can try, but I'm happy where I'm at. And so when I went and talked to her, in my interview, I was like, I get it. Like, I know why they hired you. And so the type of person she is that she does not care, like, about what anyone thinks. She's been under fire constantly with getting this job, but she doesn't care. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants to do. And so to me, as like a female coach as well, I love seeing, a boss female in a power position ready to go no matter what's whatever's in front of her. So I love that. She's spitfire and just like unapologetic, just does what she has to do, and we get it done. And so that's what I really love about Amber, while still being open-minded and listening to what we have to do. So she's not like this dictator who's doing it all herself. She loves the help that and what we bring, values us, while still doing what she needs to do.
And your relationship with her has certainly evolved. Last year, you didn't have the opportunity to be the leader that you are now. How much joy comes from leading this team?
Yeah, definitely a lot more pressure, but I enjoy it. I think, the coaches have been really good with, pushing me, to go beyond my comfort and whatnot. And, and Amber and Morgan and Lee and all them having trust in me has kind of helped me evolve as a leader. And then just having my teammates, look up to me and push me as well. And having Smiler coming back, having that veteran has been really important, just because, we've both been here, a couple years together through everything. But no, it's been a lot of fun. Definitely a growing moment for, I have to grow on and off the court. Gotta have to be a good example to the girls, but I couldn't be happier with the role I've had to play.
You both mentioned Lee Camard. Morgan, I want to ask you about Lee as a fellow assistant coach. What's he like to coach with? We remember watching him play, and I don't know how many times I said on the air, what this skinny dude is like. He was one of the most physical, gritty players you've ever seen play, which didn't go with the body that he played with at all, right?
Mount West Conference Player of the Year.
Yeah, he was like, he was not, like, he's long, but he was never like the guy you're like, oh, he's going to go in there and bang and get boards and do all this kind of stuff. And then you would go out and watch him in the game, you're like, this has got to be the toughest guy I've ever seen out on the floor. The thing I remember most about him is his toughness. Does he bring that to this team? And what else does he bring as an assistant coach?
Yeah, to the skinny guy, it's so true. I watched like a highlight of him and I saw him throw it down and I was shocked. But he's just a well-rounded player. If he can shoot, he can drive, he can do it all. But as a coach, I really enjoyed Lee. Offensively, he's sharp. He's on it. Like, he knows his stuff. And so he sees things really well, knows adjustments in the game with the girls if they're playing us a certain way. So I've loved learning and growing from that. I also love, I've learned to love him challenging me all the time.
Learn to love.
So I'll bring in an idea to the table, and Lee will just like totally crush, like challenge me on everything. And I love it because it's making me better, but it's also making me see a different side. So I love that he is fearless, and Lo knows, like, Lee's just Lee. Like, he's not going to change for anyone. And I love that about him. He's just a genuine human being. And so I just like what he brings to the table. I love that he challenges us. I like that he forces us to think outside the box, and then we all come together and just collaborate that way.
All right, let's talk shop. Tomorrow's February 1st, which is awesome because that means January is over. But then the next month is March, when we have the tournament in Vegas, and then everything that comes from that. Gonzaga and Portland got you the opening 2 games of conference play on the road.
Yeah, how do we end up having to play the 2 of the best teams in the league on the road to start conference
on
play?
the road, and it was a Saturday, Monday game.
Yeah,
the WCC did to us.
Without being able to practice on Sunday.
Yeah, the WCC did to us what the Big 12 did to Oklahoma.
Just like saying, hey,
what we're seeing
Oklahoma,
here.
we know you're a warm weather team. Why don't you go play BYU in November?
Right.
That's what happened to you guys. We're
The
convinced of
beauty,
this.
the beauty of the schedule, though, is you get those 2 teams the last week of the regular season. Now, there's some key games in between, but how important is it, and how cool is it to get a shot at those 2?
Yeah, no, it's. I feel like for Gonzaga, every year everyone gets up for that game, especially to have that game be home and our last game of the conference season. I'm just excited to be able to play them again. I feel like the start of the season, we're a completely different team than we were then. We've come together more. We have, people play their role. We have better chemistry. So I think it's going to be fun to be able to see a completely different team play them. I thought we played them, pretty well for our first game.
You had Gonzaga. You had a shot at them then right down to the last couple of minutes. Portland got you a little bit, but
yeah, that one got us.
Right.
But I'm just excited to play both of them again, especially at our place. February 23rd and 25th.
Is
Yeah.
Fowler
It's already
still
on your
Portland?
mind.
Yeah.
Fowler's still there?
She's still there.
She's a good player.
I also want to
Remember-
add a tidbit
Go ahead.
of when we played at Gonzaga. I don't know if everyone saw the interview of Coach.
Yeah, there
of their
was.
of saying that they're losing to a team that doesn't have really good players, and so.
And that was different from Lisa 48. We had not heard her say something like
We've done a
that.
lot with
Shocked
Lisa
when I
over the
saw it.
years. That
Yeah.
blew me away to hear her say that.
I was shocked to see it, but I respect that woman more than anything. But I think that's extra motivation. I think it's just all the hits that we've taken anyway. People don't really know who we are and what we have because they're not in the grind every day. And so if she thinks that's what it is, we'll show her the bad players that we have.
Well, thank you. You came out of those 2 games 4-6, and then went on a 8-game winning streak.
That's who this team's won 8 of their last 10.
Yeah.
Right, so that's who this team is now.
Yeah.
Right, so road trip to San Diego this weekend. Toreros are right behind you guys in the standings. So how important is this road trip?
Yeah, very, very important. We really got to secure the win this weekend.
And how are you going to do that?
I think we've been really focusing on defense this last week, just due to the our 2 losses. So we got to come in, ready to play hard. Everyone gives BYU their best shot, I feel like.
Yeah.
So and we got
especially this year.
Yeah,
the
for
last
sure.
year.
We got to handle their press, which I thought we did well last time against San Diego. And we got to play good defense, and everyone just got to play their role.
We were surprised at the Pacific game. Santa Clara came in and just shot lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, they just.
Sometimes it happens in
I don't
basketball,
think they
right?
missed any back-to-back threes the whole game, and that's just their day. Pacific was a little bit of a different one, but this league is. There are those kind of games for everybody every night that aren't the top 2 teams.
Right. I feel that people get up for BYU too. I
Yeah.
mean, this program has established itself as a powerhouse along with Gonzaga. And so those are the games that are easy. And so I think the Santa Clara and Pacific had a common theme. It was our second game. We didn't come in as sharp as we should, defensively especially, like Lauren said. And so with those ones, we're playing teams that really don't have anything to lose. That's when we have to be even more sharp.
When you say it's the second game of a two game series where you're playing Thursday, Saturday, or Saturday, Monday.
Yeah, so they were our second game in the week. Right. Yeah.
So for the San Diego game, which you out-rebounded the Toreros, as we mentioned, and that's not the first time you've done that. But
she did smile when he said that. I want to make sure, like, she
everyone see that?
I just wanted to smile and just like, yes, I did.
So I sat behind the San Diego bench, and I was mostly watching you because I wanted to write a story. I was watching what you did away from the ball and all that stuff. But there was a moment in that game where you got your 20-something rebound. And Cindy Fisher, who's coached forever and has been very successful, throws her hands up in the air because they had a timeout, and everyone on that roster and the 5 in the game knows they've got to box you out. And they talk about it, and then 2 seconds later, you've got another rebound. And so I was just watching her react to trying to beat one of the best players in the league. And it just wasn't happening that day. So, I don't know if they'll put 5 people on her to box her out on Saturday, but going into the second game, having done what she did in the first game, how do you plan to counter what San Diego has to do? They're going to do something different, and most of it's going to focus on Lauren. So as you plan your strategy this week, how do you come up with a counterattack?
Yeah, we're prepared for if they do come in and double. So we've been working with the posts of being more patient in the game. Whenever we get catches, let's chin and check to see where the double's coming from. If I'm one-on-one, let's read and react that way. So if they want to send a double, we'll kick it out to our shooters. And like I said, balanced game. Like, our guards got to hit these shots so that we can open it up more, and maybe in the second half or later in the game. I think last game plan, you could see that Lauren was a focus, especially on the boards, and that they were actively trying to keep her off and just couldn't. So that's going to be a lot of Lauren's just will to go get it. And I think she was successful once. She'll be successful again. It's really hard to box out someone who's as strong and athletic and fast as she is.
It's a compliment to be triple teamed, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
It's not fun, but it's a compliment.
And you know, it's game break. It's really back breaking, Lauren, when you go get offensive boards. So, because sometimes when you're on the road, shooting doesn't travel as well as defense and rebounding, right? And so you go on the road, maybe you don't shoot it, you're a few percentage points lower than you are at home, but you can make a huge difference in the game by going, that's fine, every time they miss it, I'll just go grab it and we'll have another shot at it. Do you think that way when you go on the road? I need to really get on the offensive glass.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes our shooting doesn't travel. So I really feel like rebounding is really just, an effort, kind of like the defensive side of things. So, yeah, especially on the offensive board, I feel like sometimes on defense, they don't box out as hard on that side of things. So it's kind of easier sometimes to get an O board because they do expect everyone to get back in transition. So sometimes I think that's an advantage is to, kind of sneak in there and try to grab that O board while everyone's running back. So.
Couple more questions, and we'll let Lauren and Morgan go. They're on the Wise Guys tonight. I want to do a follow-up from Kempe talking about your great uncle. And she says, I'm watching this with my 85-year-old dad who played with your great uncle. And he just said that he's your biggest fan. Next to your parents, he raves about how great John Gustin was.
Oh.
So you got that going
sweet,
for you.
yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
His 85-year-old dad. That's
Wow.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Fans of all ages, Lauren.
Hey, who do you got in the Super Bowl? Who you taking in the Super Bowl?
That's important.
Well, you answer this one.
I think I want the Eagles to win.
You want the Eagles?
Yeah.
Do you have a tie to the Eagles or just like
So the fact that Andy Reid's not one of the greatest
yeah.
Cougars is not enough to draw you in?
Yeah, I mean, I want the Bengals to really beat the Chiefs, but
Yeah.
so I'm just going to root for the Eagles in this one.
Eagles are good?
Yeah, I don't have a preference. My mom grew up in New England, and so we've always been Patriots, Red Sox, Celtics fans. So
you're on the outside looking in?
I just want a good game. Yeah.
We'll take a good game. How about that?
Yeah,
We'll take a
yeah.
good
Yeah,
game.
we'll
I
take
still
a
have to
good
come up with the family
I
prize.
have to root for Andy.
Yeah. That is true.
Andy was our he coached here. He was when I was playing and I played quarterback. Andy was the graduate assistant coach that worked with quarterbacks, and so spent every day in the meeting room with him for a year or two. And it's like, how can I not root? Like when he was at the Eagles, I root for the Eagles. I got to root for Kansas City.
Isn't it interesting? The two quarterbacks, Hurts and Mahomes, have changed the way quarterbacking is done in the NFL, and now they get to collide in the Super Bowl as mobile quarterbacks who just make stuff happen. And you mentioned when you're talking about Lauren being different from the others, there always has to be somebody who just does it better than everybody else, and then they lead and take a team to the Super Bowl or to a big win this Saturday. And so you're kind of like the Mahomes, Hurts of the
that's an honor
of
to
the
me.
Cougars. Is that what it sounds like? It kind of sounds like that.
It's absolutely right. Yeah.
I like
You can out rebound both of them, so you
I
got that
like
going
that
for you.
now. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do 5 questions and we'll get you both out of here tonight.
Yeah. So we always end with all of our guests these 5 questions. We keep it just to see who does what. So we're gonna ask both of you the same questions, and then you don't have to think about it much. You just put the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
So your favorite sports movie?
Mine's probably Glory Road.
Oh, that's nobody said Glory Road.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I love Glory Road.
That's a great.
Glory Road.
Lauren.
Mine's probably gonna be just I would say The Blind Side. It's not. I mean,
It's a good
Hey,
one.
No,
you
that's
don't need to. You don't need to. That's
You
a
do
classic.
not apologize. Blindside is great.
Do not apologize for that.
Who was I just talking to? I was talking to somebody, and they were asking me about Blake Freeland, who's from BYU. He's gone out to the NFL draft, and they were saying, why is he so valuable? I said, well, because he plays left tackle. He plays the blind side. And they said, well, what's that? And I explained it to him. Most quarterbacks are right-handed, and that's the side that they can't see. And I'm like, have you never seen the movie The Blind Side? They go, no. I go, you need to watch that.
What
And you came up with Blind Side.
Who was better in that movie, Sandra Bullock or Tim McGraw?
so yeah, I love Sandra Bullock. She's one of my favorite actors. So
I thought she nailed that
was so
role.
She was so good. I love Sandra
and
Bullock.
McGraw nailed the role of being married to someone who is very outspoken and controlling.
And Tim McGraw, by the way, he can do no wrong with my wife. We're watching this series Yellowstone, and he plays like the great grandpa.
Yeah.
And it's like beard that comes all the way up to here, and she's like, "Oh, Tim McGraw." I'm like, Tim McGraw. He looks terrible right there.
He was
Tim McGraw
awesome.
Never looks terrible to her.
Did you go to Stadium of Fire last year?
no, I didn't.
Oh, McGraw was
Oh, he
awesome.
was
that
so
night.
good.
He was on.
Okay, so
on
now
point.
we're going to this next question. So we got Glory Road and Blindside. Favorite singer or band?
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. We started with Morgan, so
Yeah.
let's start with
Let's start with
Lauren.
this.
Think
time
about
out.
this.
Yeah. Oh shoot. I feel like there's so many. It depends on the genre. Okay, this is like really weird, but I really like Eminem for some reason.
What's wrong with that?
There's no reason to apologize for
growing up, I
Eminem.
listened to him
I'm just
so
going to write him
much,
down.
so-
Marshall Mathers.
Lowe's like known as the country girl. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Ron's
Everyone
like,
thinks I'm like some big country girl, so they
saddle
always
up,
yeah.
you know?
What was one of his big songs? I heard on the radio, so it was a cleaned up version. Was it the
You're like,
one
doom,
shot
doom,
or
doom,
the
doom, 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 doom. Sorry, like that.
What
like,
is it?
You only got one shot, one opportunity.
Yeah.
What's
Coach-
it called?
Coach Pope wrapped that
It's
up.
Coach Pope's
Coach
thing,
Pope.
yeah.
Yikes.
Palms are sweaty.
Yeah, that's lose your
Bomb on
song.
your sweater already.
All right, what do we got, Morgan?
Okay, no one knows him. Teddy Swims is by far my best. So,
Wait, Teddy Swims?
Yeah.
What is he? What? Give me his best song.
Teddy Swims, is that really a
Dose.
person?
Yeah.
No, you guys, he's good.
Dose?
Dose. Like DOSE.
DOSE. Because I'm going to look this up.
Yeah.
Because that's
Cougar Nation, go look it up.
Teddy
But-
Swims. So I gave everybody 2 weeks ago Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
And none of them heard of Jelly Roll. Have you heard of Jelly
No,
Roll?
but we ordered a dozen.
Yeah. I've never heard
Go
of
look
that
up
ever.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
It's kind of country rock, and I'm not even a country guy. This guy's from upstate New York where I grew up. Very soulful. His Son of a Sinner. So you go listen to Jelly Roll, Son of a Sinner, and I'm going to ask you guys next time I see
Yeah.
you if you like it.
Teddy's
And I'm-
pretty soulful as well.
I am going to
so-
look up Teddy Swims,
Teddy
and I'm going to listen.
Swims.
I'm going to listen to Dose.
So I'm a mixture of Keith Urban and AC/DC, so I can cover the gamut.
Oh, okay.
He's like he
Run it all.
does.
Run it
He's
all.
I got
country and hard
mixtures,
rock.
too.
I was gonna
like
say
Cody
everything
Johnson,
I don't
too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you? What are you? What is your genres?
I'm like more R&B. I'm not like a hard rap, like trap music stuff.
I grew up in New York, so I'm a
R&B.
hip hop
R&B.
guy, playing basketball and football. And you're not the country girl.
Well, I definitely like my fair. Like, I like country music for sure. I'm not even a big rap person. I just like him because I just grew up listening to him a lot. My older brothers were always listening to him, so it kind of brings back good memories.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I would say more. I'd probably lean more towards country music
She's
right
more of a
now.
country.
But
So,
I
would you say Keith Urban is better than Tim McGraw, Brad Paisley?
yeah, I really like Brad Paisley. I went to his concert a couple years ago.
He's awesome.
He's friends
yeah.
with him.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we were
Okay.
talking about
His
earlier.
dad.
Yeah.
He's
We
cool.
met his dad. So.
That's cool.
His dad drives the tour bus wearing a BYU football shirt.
I
So
love
the-
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
This week I was in Hawaii, so I really got into the Common Kings. They have a bunch of
I
like
love
island
Common.
kind.
Yeah, yeah.
So like Wade in Your Water and some of those, and then I found out they're from SoCal. I was like, why did I think they're from the islands? I'm like, I need an island artist, and then I just diverted. And
Did you go to Don Ho?
No, I went to Jack Johnson. What are you talking about, man?
Kalohi Kai is one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Kalohi Kai.
But Jack Johnson,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
So favorite breakfast cereal.
Oh, we're back over here.
It's Morgan's turn.
I think like those oatmeal squares, the brown sugar oatmeal squares. They're good.
Oh, because they do have sugar on
yeah.
them.
Do they at least have a
Crunch.
name?
No, they're
Do they
called
have a
oatmeal
name?
squares. They're brown sugar. I don't know.
I'm writing that down.
I'm not really a cereal
Brown sugar. I have to
person.
look up a bunch of stuff that Morgan's given us. Now I have to look up these. So we kind of make fun on the show of people that eat healthy cereal. Danny Ainge comes on and says, shredded wheat. And David and I look at him
Like with the frosted on it? He goes, no, just shredded
Stop
wheat.
this. And he goes, oh, I do put a lot of sugar on them. We're like, okay, that just saved it. So Lo, what do you
Mine's
got?
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey bunches.
I know.
A lot of people like that.
Yeah, I love that one.
Okay, can I change mine?
Yeah.
Because mine's lame. Captain Crunch.
I'll be honest. Anything with
But
Captain
you-
Crunch beats
but you
oatmeal
can't eat
squares.
too much because it tears up your mouth.
Yeah,
It really
kill you.
does.
The roof
It'll
of your
take that
mouth will
roof
kill
right
you.
off.
But Captain Crunch.
Nice. He likes Captain Crunch.
That's a good save.
Do you like the
Almost
Crunch
squares
berries or just the regular Captain Crunch?
I like with the Crunch berries. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I
Berries
will
are the
eat
best part.
all of the Captain Crunches and leave the Crunch berries for 3 big bites. So there you go. Okay. Favorite thing about your favorite thing, Lo, about Morgan, and Morgan, your favorite thing about Lo.
All right.
Okay. I think Morgan has a goofy side about her that people don't really see unless you spend more time with her. I've got to know that over the last couple months. So, just getting to know her personality, I think it's really unique, and I love how she can be. She's a little bit of a weirdo, which I love. So
I'm really weird.
All right, now it's your turn.
Your turn, Morgan.
Okay, I have 2 things for Lo. Okay, Lo is really funny. Like, she's hilarious. Just little comments that she'll say. Can I tell a story really fast?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
oh no.
Okay, I wasn't even there, but I laughed my butt off. But they were getting in an elevator last trip, and there was this dude. The door opens, and this dude is in like cowboy boots and just standing outside, and he's like, "Can I get in?" Is that what he said? Can I get in? And then she just goes, "Saddle up."
No, you did not.
She did.
I don't know why I said it. It just came out.
But then she invited weirdness in because
Yeah,
then
that did invite weirdness
I guess
in.
he didn't turn around, like he just stood and looked at
Yeah,
us.
he was really weird when he got in.
got in the elevator and faced the back while everybody else
Yeah, he
was
just
facing the
faced us directly, just right eye to eye contact the whole time.
front. Oh, that's not
Hey,
weird.
It's not
That's
his fault. It's
weird.
her fault. She
I
invited
know,
him
I
in.
did invite it.
That's awesome.
Okay, but my other thing was that she's super humble. Like you guys,
Yeah.
everyone sees it. Just how she's killing it. She's number 1 in the nation. Like that's very rare to have on a team, and she's super humble. Cares about her teammates.
I love that.
And so yeah.
I love that. Okay, and last one. Favorite advice from either your mom or your dad? And it's Morgan's turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite advice from mom or dad?
That's a hard question. I think from my mom, I came from a single parent home where my dad wasn't involved ever, and so my mom had to raise us 3 by herself. And so I think just working, like put your head down and work is what I've learned from her, and never settle for what you have. Just keep trying for more, and it inspired me in my basketball career as well. So.
Right.
Put your head down and work, and
Yeah.
don't be satisfied.
Yeah.
Does she ever tell you to put your head down and work when you're out
Did
there?
Morgan say that?
She definitely motivates me to work harder.
I love that. That's great. What about you? Any advice from your mom or your dad that you remember?
Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. I feel like, they're definitely my, biggest role models. So, one thing, they've definitely taught me to, try to outwork everybody at the end of the day, be the hardest working person in the room. But one thing I've loved that they've always taught me is just how important it is, like family and just being loyal to family. And at the end of the day, your family's, who you've really got. So I like that because I feel like that could, me, my teammates, my coaches, everybody. So just trying to live a life where, I'm, making these relationships with people to be, all part of like my family. So I would say that, just being loyal to my real ones, and then just, working hard, being the hardest worker.
Work and be loyal. Man, that's
Words to live by. Words to
those are
live by.
words. And I love that you call your teammates and your coach's family, because that's important. Right. So great stuff. you
Gordon
guys.
Eakin's going to join us here in just a second, and he's got Violet Zavodnik on his team. Has there ever been a time on campus when there have been more dynamic female athletes? You just pick the sport. You go to a track and field, and you got national champions. Soccer, you got big time. We're sending players into the pros. You're the number 1 rebounder in the country. Zavodnik's ranked number 28 player in the country.
Overall, at any position.
This is a
Top
cool
30
time,
player in
isn't
the
it?
country.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see
Yeah.
all these females.
Yep.
Hey, we're proud of you.
The women's teams are are ready
Big 12 ready.
for the Big 12.
Let's
They're
be
ready.
San Diego ready on Saturday,
Yes.
right? Let's
Yep.
get after that one.
Now we talked about a lot of stuff. Now you can go focus on the Torettos.
Now that you've been to the Wise Guys,
Yep.
the rest of the week is.
Yep, and we're gonna send you off with good karma.
Hey,
Yeah, that's what we
it's
need.
great to have
Hey,
you here.
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
guys so much.
Our
Well, thanks
podcast
for
will be up
coming.
tomorrow, and the clips of this we'll share with the world all week, and we look forward to following you Saturday. And of course, we'll be down announcing the tournament in Vegas, and we'll finish this right out. Our last year in the WCC,
Yeah.
exciting time, and the Big 12 is waiting.
Yes. Yeah.
All right,
And
thank you,
we're
both.
so glad that we could introduce you to everybody in the world and they could get to know you better.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for
so
having
much
us.
for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you for
Thank you,
having
Coach.
us.
Appreciate it, Lauren. We'll
Thank
let you
you,
just
guys.
take off. That's the nature of the thing. You throw your headset down,
Yeah,
you
when
grab
it's-
your
yeah.
waters, and
It's
get
different
out.
format than when you come in studio with us in BYU TV. It's like we got a commercial break, we got this, we got that. Nah, you just hang out with us.
This is nice. I love it. You guys
so-
are awesome.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Lauren.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming over. Our next guest is one.